All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a little bit of a scrimmy do. You've got the side of Cloud9 Discord taking on Team Liquid Discord. Team Liquid Discord being on the red side, and then over on the blue side we do have Cloud9 Discord. So looks like it will be a pretty hype time coming out here. As I'm excited, I'm ready. I don't know if you guys are. Let's go ahead and start looking at the pick and ban here. We do see the Yasuo Nocturne banned away from Team Liquid Discord. Keeping those picks away. Some strong picks that are currently going through and not really wanting to let Cat or Shin have that Yasuo or even Ragnar for that instance. Even as we have seen some Yasuo in the bot lane, but Nocturne being kind of like the OP pick currently. Morgana, Jats being banned away. Jats pretty terrifying pick currently in the meta. Not like a super OP, so much more likely to be a targeted ban there, as Aurelia is also banned away as another powerful champion. Lutz, very interesting to see banned out. I'm guessing One Eye plays a decent bit of this. I'm going to do this pretty much blind, except for the players that we got to see from the last season of the DCCS. And they've already done a pro draft, so they're going to be picking this up in order. So I'm going to be going through the matchups as we go along. Kennen versus Akali being a very interesting one. Akali, new Akali, can do some pretty crazy things. So going to be looking into that, and that's going to be a matchup to watch just because of the fact that Akali is so fresh. Looking at other matchups, Sejuani being locked in alongside with Orianna. You can look at this top side of the map already from Cloud9 Discord and say, wow, what a wombo, what a combo. But on the other side of the team, on the Fields of Justice, right? You got Akali, you got Gragas, you got Galio. There is so much disengage, and the options for engage. Gragas's Cask actually is a phenomenal way to be able to disperse an enemy team and make it to where that disengage is going to be so clean. Galio being another option, going to be dropping those yo mama jokes and being able to lay out those taunts. Got that Justice Punch as well. And then there's that heroic entrance that can make any team fight that looks like it's going really poorly to actually go in your favor. So very neutral matchups actually between the Orianna and Galio. Orianna should be able to have the advantage just because of the fact that she is ranged, but at the same time there, Galio versus Orianna. Orianna's not known for being a lane dominant champion, kind of known to be that jack of all trades that can do a little bit of everything and specializes in that wombo combo. Kalista, Alistar, they're going really ham actually for this pick and ban for just team fighting in general. The Kalista Alistar is, of course, them just loading up that ballista and looking to load it up and shoot it on out. Going to be able to hit some really thick bolts, and it's going to be very interesting to see how Silent plays inside of this going through the laning phase. Xayah Rakan not being really that powerful until they hit 6, but their laning is still very good. It's very interesting that Xayah Rakan were able to be picked up as a duo here. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes because of the fact that Xayah Rakan together with the fact that they have themselves the Galio is a very powerful thing. Rakan able to go for that quickening and just run into the middle of the enemy team. With Galio to be able to make a heroic entrance behind him means that they could have the options for some very powerful combos in that regard. Looking to be able to lay out the damage, get Galio into the center of things. And the chaos is good because that means that Akali will be able to kind of skirt around the chaos and hopefully pick up the Kalista. This was what becomes the scary thing. How does Akali get in here? Well, Akali, a lot of people have seen, is pretty good into mages. People have been really enjoying playing her into mage-heavy comps. And you do have this Orianna and you do have the Kennen who is going to be looking to try and bully her out in lane. Hentai Cat has a lot of eyes actually on him inside of this matchup because a lot of success will depend on how he actually picks up fights on the skirts. If he's able to put Kennen far enough behind too, that could be very huge. So you got to look at Manizzle to see if he's going to be playing top heavy here. Get this Akali snowballing, put this Kennen down in the ground, and make sure that he is not going to be able to pound anybody with that slicing maelstrom. Be able to neutralize the lawnmower blades and make it to where it's just a weed whacker. Sejuani is a very interesting one here because of the fact that Sejuani is so good right now. I think it's probably Sejuani and Gragas being the primary tank junglers that people are playing currently. Two really good pickups. I think they both round up each of their comps fairly well. Sejuani's going to be looking to try and salvage Kennen, I think. Make sure that Kennen doesn't get ganked super hard. Her matchups, you could go for bot lane here if Alistar's able to get in range, but Xayah Rakan is pretty safe, honestly, so it's hard to really get a good clean engage. You can't really abuse Rakan in this matchup, so him as a support, they can't really target him, so their target becomes Xayah. I don't know, it's going to be very interesting. I definitely could see Ziggy looking to go for a level 4-man party down in the bot lane. Him, Orianna, Kalista, Alistar go in there and go for that. The curious thing is the fact that Orianna is taking TP in this matchup. I'm very curious on that. I probably would have liked to have seen One Eye actually go for the Ignite and zone out the Galio super hard. That actually just, summoner spells just put so much pressure in this game. I think Teleport's really good in like competitive, but I don't even think it's that great on Orianna. I would have preferred to seen a defensive summoner or a offensive summoner at this point. TP is what you would call a utility summoner, just because it gets you from point A to point B. And when you pick it mid lane, a lot of times it's, unless you're like a champion that's very roam dependent, it won't be that great. Orianna can make use of it, but it's not as great. Whereas with the Galio, I'm like, okay, I can understand why the Galio would want to take it. Me personally, I've been finding just running Ignite to be better though, just because in this matchup, if any of the mid laners actually get ahead, especially the Galio is free to roam a lot more effectively than the Orianna will be. Of course, Orianna isn't the slowest champion in the world because she does have that move speed, but Galio does have a semi-global ultimate, so makes things a lot easier to be able to follow up on from a range. I'm curious. I really am to see how these comps are actually going to play out here. See what they end up doing with what they got, what the tools they'll be able to bring here. As we are going to be loading into game here very shortly. Yet again, Cloud9 Discord is going to be over on the blue side, while Team Liquid Discord is going to be over on the red side. My name is Travysty. I am the solo caster, because everybody hates me. You do get to go ahead and see some of the summoners here. Electrocute Greg is very interesting on that one. And let's see. Orianna, One Eye is taking Comet? What? Why not Airy? That doesn't make... No, okay. Alright. And Fleet Footwork Kalista, that's a very interesting one. I guess it makes sense. I mean, she doesn't really have a summoner that really does really well with her, I guess, but didn't think Fleet Footwork. So, a couple of choice things I would definitely look at in regards to that. Galio going the standard Aftershock. Going Sorcery, actually. As many people know, I like Electrocute Galio currently at this point in time because it's a lot of unexpected lane presence that you actually get from going Electrocute. And as I said before, I think either unlocking, getting Akali to a point where she can sit on the side and pick up kills off on the sidelines here would be phenomenal, or actually getting the Galio ahead would be great too, because you can just make things work from there. We're gonna go ahead and check real quick. Okay, yeah, everything's working in terms of OBS. I wanted to check OBS and make sure OBS was doing just fine. Looks like it is. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure. I had to make sure all my settings were right. You guys know. You guys know how it is. Come on, answer me. Tell me. Let's look at starts that are coming out here. We are seeing the coin start that's coming out from Archon, pretty standard. Doran's Blade, Relic, Doran's Shield from Akali, makes sense. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Orianna did opt for a Corruption Potion. Interesting to me to think about, just because of the fact that I accidentally clicked on the minimap. I think it's interesting just because of the fact that it says that this Orianna wants to sustain a little bit more. I'm starting to expect this Orianna to not be aggressive, just from choice of summoners. Choice of summoners plus the fact of starting build. I'm not expecting a super aggressive early Orianna. I'm actually expecting like an Orianna that will be confident only after having items to be able to hit wombos. we'll start to see after we see a couple of shockwaves. The first shockwave is definitely going to be an interesting one here, but just trying to draw conclusions, because like I said before, the only players I've actually watched, I believe, would be Silent Blue Death, and then we, on the side of Team Liquid, we got Monizzle and Ragnar. So, oh, and I think Cat was a part of the roster last year, I do believe. I'm not 100% sure on that one, though, so fact check me. If you can't, well, oh well. Standard starts that are going to be coming out, they're actually both starting on the same side, so bottom half of the jungle. Looks like they're going to be the game plan. One goes to the chickens, one goes to the Gromp. And Galio actually getting early vision. I really like this because he's shoving them with the Winds of War at this point in time. He's doing this, even though he missed minions in regards to that, he gets vision. They know exactly where the Sejuani is going to go to. And Monizzle does have Electrocute in this point in time. So Gragas' base damages are actually pretty cray-cray. And he does have a decent amount of regen. He does realize, though, he gets to see the HP that Sejuani ended that with. Because of that, he understands, hey, I am not healthy enough to tackle the Sejuani inside the jungle. So he doesn't go for it. Instead, he's going to go for red buff. And he's going to go straight into going for the Scuttle. Right after this, I believe. Make sure he'll be able to get at Monizzle. Practicing the role here as of late. Being a jungler who switched over. The man was an AD carry main last season, but last season the DCC has changed him. He went to the top lane, had a vision score of 4. Now he's going back to the jungle to show us what for. The interesting thing going throughout these lanes here, it's now One Eye getting a little bit of a farm advantage. Shingo not really being able to farm correctly on the Galio currently at this moment. It is something of note to always know that when you're a melee into range, there's a unnatural thing that's not going in your favor at that point. He doesn't have Justice Punch at this point in time. He's taking some damage from the Comet, but Gragas is here. They're going to look to try and do something, but their minion wave is not in their favor. I really don't like this. Monizzle is only level 2, and now Ziggy just gets to have free time with Monizzle. Monizzle has to be careful. Shingo going for the Justice Punch. Unnecessary. Didn't have to go for it. That's actually a pretty big mistake from Monizzle to go for something that aggressive. But yeah, it's just seeing some action down here in the bot lane. Going to have a little bit of a trade. That's going to go in the favor of Rakan there, I believe, just because his sustain's a little bit more notable. Biscuits actually being taken on the Alistar here. Interesting by Silent. I'm actually curious on what he ran for inspiration, and if he took Biscuits. He still could take Hetztech. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. After he does his first flash, we'll see if he has Hetztech, I guess. Curious now of what he actually did end up taking. Oh, wait. Seeing him go for something that is going to be a good headbutt. Pulverize actually coming from Silent. There's a lot of spears. There's a lot into him. That is so well played by Silent. He's going to be able to pick up the kill. That's first blood. Now Monizzle is over here, but he's kind of regretting his decision. Going to go ahead and back off. Knows that he can't do anything else. That was so wonderfully played by Silent at that point. Going to go in and actually be able to get the auto, recognizing his passive was there. Monizzle needs to really be careful. That's going to be a headbutt that's going to hit him. Going to get the Pulverize, but not going to be able to get anything else at that point in time. Silent made the play there. Really, really well done there. You really want to go ahead and get yourself an early advantage inside this lane because it is Xayah Rakan. Beat them up pre-6 where they're at their weakest and go ahead and make them suffer. Alistar Headbutt Pulverize is such a good combo to do that. I'm really surprised that the Rakan was the one that died there, because he should be the hardest one to punish in terms of the fact that he can move around so freely. I'm seeing Cat actually doing a decent bit of damage, getting the proc onto Electrocute. Kali's actually just so fun to watch her move. It sounds a little weird, but just such a good champion. Looks so free-flowing. Now Ragnar is going to find himself in a bad spot. Going to have to find himself sacrificing Rakan. He's going to end up going down. No, he's going to be able to flash, but that still is going to be his life claimed there, as the spears were just enough at that point. It is level 6 over there for the Kennen. Kennen going to go ahead and ult right here. The Ignite's going to be popped for the Kennen as he's looking for Cat, looking for the kill. The Ignite's going to take away, and Akali picks up a kill for themselves. The first kill for Team Liquid. As now we do reset it Got to kind of look at the focal points at this point. Ziggy is down here in the bot lane. Vision was there. They're going to be looking to get a dive on the Ragnar. Ragnar actually has to back off. There's no head stack flash from Silent, so he did not take that. Monizzle is going to be here to defend it, so this is not going to be the siege that they wanted. They're going to have to back off from this. Go ahead and disengage. Now, that is solo gold that's coming over to Cat. I do believe that was misplayed by Kennen. That was actually a little bit of overconfidence. He forgot about the fact that this Akali does have Ignite at this point in time and said, oh, well, he's in the smoke screen, so let me go ahead and pop that Maelstrom, go ahead and lay out the damage onto him. And because of the fact he made that error, by getting a little bit too overconfident in the fact of his damages, because you got to remember, you're playing TP Kennen at this point in time. You're not playing Ignite Kennen. Whenever you're playing against somebody with Ignite, this is what I always talk about with the whole Ignite versus Teleport thing. Unless you're using Teleport like super smartly for certain plays and with certain champions to combo and organize different kinds of styles, it's really hard to pull off. And Ignite should automatically give your lane pressure no matter what. Now, if both these laners had Ignite, then their pressure from summoners is automatically neutralized. But it just felt like the Kennen just disrespected the damages there. While on the other side of things, Rakan's constantly getting caught out. I feel like that's really weird. He has a lot of mobility. So he should be one of the hardest champions to caught out. If not the hardest on the enemy team. And he's died twice so far, just for being a little bit too far forward. Silent's been doing a great job of actually punishing them for that. And noticing when they can go for these trades. The Alistair Kalista lane has, of course, been known to be just a very oppressive lane. Good vision wards that are coming out here, getting the river cleared out, but they need to really be careful. That's a headbutt pulverized. There is going to be a shockwave that possibly could go out. Really good play by the Rakan Ragnar. You need to get out of there. That shockwave is so delayed. One eye is going to be able to not be able to get anything. He was aiming with that one eye. As now Gallia needs to really watch out. He's going to find himself in the glacial prison. Shing is going to find himself burning down. He is taken out. That's a killing spree over to this Kalista. Nia Delta looking really strong inside this game. 3-0-0, and being able to get the CS differential has been able to just be an important member of this team. And gotta think that gotta be a little bit of sweat coming down from Team Liquid there. A little bit too over-aggressive. Monizzle is down here in the bot side. That is going to be an explosive cast, but it's going to be a one of friendship. Going to be able to knock that Kennen out of range. Got a little bit too feisty with firing off that ult. Ragnar needs to be careful. One of the problems I am seeing right now is Danville and Ragnar are actually getting too close together. Danville actually going to go in, jump in, going to see what they can do. Ragnar is going to try and lay out the damage, but that's going to be the Fate's Call that's going to be coming out. He didn't see the Featherstorm, and that is going to be him going down. Looking to see Danville, see if he can get anything. He isn't even level 6 yet. That is the heal. That's going to be the headbutt out of it as they're looking to continue this on. Silent, that's a little bit over-aggressive. Going to be forced to burn his flash off of that. If he didn't, he was going to be dead to rights. I misplay there from Ragnar. Held his Featherstorm for too long. When you see the Fate's Call wind up like that, he actually had ample time to go ahead and just go for the Featherstorm. And I actually think that would have been a one trade because you wouldn't have taken that damage that came out from the Fate's Call and the damage that was able to be layered on from the Kalista at that point. Those spears getting to be stacked is definitely a thing that you have to think about when you're in this matchup. So a bit of a misplay there from Ragnar. Not really utilizing himself, his abilities at the right timings. Maybe showing a little bit out of practice. You know, he's been on that World of Warcraft grind. I really like the fact they secured vision over in the top side, because right now Akali is doing pretty well for himself. Still down in CS, but that's going to be a-okay, because if you look at the gold differential, he is about 300 gold up at this point in time. Actually 200, but roughly about 300, about 250. But he does have a decent sized lead for himself. They really need to try and figure out a way to capitalize a gold lead for Team Liquid Discord at this point, because of the fact that the Ragnar is so far behind. He's 2.7k in comparison to Kalista's 4.3. That is humongous. That is a huge gold lead. There is actually a completed Blade of the Ruined King that's already been completed on Kalista. And right now it's showing Team Liquid's going to have a hard time inside of team fights if they're not able to pick off Kalista, which makes me feel like there's much more urgency to get this Akali ahead to get something to go their way. Now, it looks like there is going to be a little bit of a pause. little bit of a AFK that had to come out from the top lane of Hentai Cat. So let's go ahead and break down the game real quick. So right now, as we're looking, gold differentials and whatnot, the Kalista is definitely the most jarring difference coming at this gold lead with, let's do a quick little bit of math. I know that's a little but that is a 1.7 K difference. So that is a BF sword, over a BF sword. So a BF sword and almost a long sword is the difference in between gold between the Kalista and the Xayah. Being a huge point. Now there is some synergy that's still going to be there where the Xayah Rakan will still be able to have comeback potential. But I do have to say, I feel like Ragnar and Donville are not as practiced as they could be at this point in time. Looks like they're actually getting a little bit exploited inside of this. This is a lane that requires a decent amount of synergy. It's a good lane. If you can synergize just fine, you can turn it on. But the fact that they're so far behind when they hit their level 6 power spike is pretty sad in that matchup. Just because of the fact that it's not sad as like, oh, you guys are idiots. It's sad as in the fact that they're not going to be able to do what they would want to do in this matchup. Like I said, they'll still be able to be fine. We'll probably see the Storm Raiders come out, and then we'll see Storm Raiders, and then we'll see all this other cool stuff that's going to come out. We'll see their Zeal item, and then we'll see their IE pop up, and they'll be doing a lot of damage. Kalista shown some love here recently. I'm curious on what build path he will go. I'm assured that it's going to be the Blade of the Ruined King into the Hurricane, the classic that we all know and love. Just that way you can stack those spears inside of it. Even no matter how much you nerf Hurricane, as long as it allows Kalista to put spears in multiple people, Kalistas will buy that item. And we'll be getting started up here very shortly, it looks like. No real big gold leads actually going for Team Liquid. It's not really looking too hot for them because there is a 2K lead in difference. But you do have to go back and say, okay, well, there's 7 out of 2K of their gold lead that C9 has. 1.7 of it is actually on the Kalista, while the rest of it is dispersed amongst actually, it's on the Sejuani and Alistair at this point, the rest of it. So 300 gold difference, just estimate, is what we're looking at here. See how they end up breaking this out. I take a short pause, get myself some Drak. Got some pings that are coming out. Let's take a look at the vision that's actually being coming out here. Team Liquid actually has a decent defensive line. I feel like I haven't really seen any good vision actually from the side of C9. They are starting to clear away some of these vision wards, and they're starting to get some vision here. So that's good for them. You know, as soon as I say something about vision, they go ahead and start grabbing it. Good on their behalf to go ahead and notice that this is their time to go ahead and do it. And they actually are rotating around. This is a little weird. Just because I feel like they're missing out on XP at this point. I mean, they go mid lane here, but there is going to be the Rakan there. They're looking to try and make some impact onto the Akali. Akali, beautiful dodge there. Glacial Precision going to go just a little bit wide. So that's going to be the Sejuani. They do get Retaroed off of that. Don't get any sums off of that big rotation. I feel like that was a waste from C9 Discord. I think that was a really bad rotation. Getting Herald and making that rotation to the top side was fine. But, oh my god, Akali is looking to go in. Oon! Almost taken down. There it is. Ignite going to tick away and take him out. I really like this. Cat actually showing, hey, your jungler was just here. He's not here anymore. I'm just going to all in you and take you out. Really well played at that point. Using the Ignite to their advantage. And there you go. Now we are seeing Rakan actually look to try and do something at that point in time. Was a little bit too far off with Manizzle there as well. I think Manizzle should have saw that ward, so they should know that he's right there. But yeah, no, this is what I was talking about. You see the headbutt pulverize, it was going to go land onto the Rakan, but Rakan is able to dash around so many different times. This is what should have been happening inside this lane. He shouldn't have died those 2 times because of that, but he got a little bit too close to Ragnar, and that was kind of the problem that's there. Is just being a little bit too close to your AD carry. Kind of want to draw a line when you're playing that. But we are going to see a Shockwave in the mid lane. He's going to go for the hero punch, but you can't do that. You got to take a step back. That's going to be the quickening. That's going to be the level 6 engage. You're going to be able to get him, as that's going to be the explosive cats. It's going to be tearing them apart. But Nizzle's going to be able to pick up that kill. Now Silent Blue Death is going to find himself being the next target. That's going to be the kill. That's going to be going over Danville. Going to get that kill. Featherstorm is going to be there with the heal. Danville is going to go a little bit wide as he's looking to make an entrance of his own. Looking to lay the damage onto him. Not going to be able to get the autos needed though, as that is what I was talking about. Ragnar and them just need to pull the trigger on them when they're playing this Rakan Xayah at this point in time. You see the Alistar, let's go for the Kalista. Kalista is the main part of this. If you can dash around silent at this point in time and keep yourself from being CC locked down, you can lay out the damage for days. Kalista is a champion that's based around lodging spears inside of you and rending you apart from inside with all of those spears. Get them all stacked in and lay out some thick damage. Can't do that when you're dead or when you're CC'd. You can't auto attack at that point. Either one of those apply. So really well done by Team Liquid Discord to go ahead and take advantage of that. Nizzle making a great gank happen at that point in time, just because of the fact, like I said, their bot lane isn't exactly doing too well. That does change the gold lead looking back at it. So you got a 42k to a 57. So it's a 15k now. One of the biggest issues that you see with Kalista currently is the fact that it takes a little bit more. That is a shockwave that's going on, but look at this. Danville's going to find himself caught in a bad spot yet again. He's going to look to go and lay the damage, but he's going to get stunned off of this. You got too close to the Alistar. That's getting too close to the sun. Ragnar looking to see what he can do. That's going to be the Fate's Call that's going to be coming out. They're going to be able to get the kill here. That's a double kill that goes to Delta, and the gold that they were able to make up for has just been thrown away by that. Not really respecting those cowbells that Silent Blue Death is playing. It's a very poor played situation, honestly. That was actually a moment where you don't dash. You don't use that final dash. This is actually going to open up the map for C9 Discord. They're actually going to place this down in the mid lane to make it to where Galio has to react to it. But Galio should be able to do fine. It's just this tower is going down. There's no way it's not at this point. No, they actually are going to let him just take the Herald. He's going to be able to get that flash taunt. Now the Akali is over here on the side. Danville's looking for revenge as he's going to be looking to try and do something. Quickening blown there from Danville. Not going to be able to get anything off of it, so that is a huge summoner blown. But that is a 3-0 Akali. First break does go over to this Kalista. Ragnar looking to lay out the damage. He's going to find himself CC'd and taken out, though, as Delta and Silent are just too far ahead. Now they're going to be looking to turn this around. TL saying, let's go ahead and see if we can take this dragon. There is a TP advantage that's going to be coming out at this point. Smoke screen there, trying to see if they can pull some ninja moves. You see Kennon's actually backing off to make something happen. That's going to be the Glacial Prison. It's going to be there. Explosive Cask is going to be able to disperse them, but there is going to be the hidden problem as the Galio is not going to be able to hit anybody. The Explosive Cask knocks him away, and that C9 Discord are going to come up huge. That was so incredibly, like, not what you wanted to do in that situation. I accidentally just turned on my head spots. That's a skill in of itself, I believe. But I don't know if you guys could hear that, but I somehow like thumped my head spots on, and that was great. Dragon's gonna go over. That's the second Infernal that goes over to C9 Discord. So what went wrong there? Akali wasn't able to stop Kennen from backing because Kennon's able to shove in the wave and was able to just walk back to his turret and say, it's fine, I can just go ahead and make this TP play. Granted, I don't think it was worth it for him to TP. Why? He only got 1 assist for it. It still gets him into a better spot than where he is, I guess. I mean, he's not that far down. He's only 500 gold down on an Akali that's 3-0. That's pretty good in my opinion. When you're looking across who he has to go against in terms of champions. But right now, we really need to start looking at this Callista and saying, wow, this thing is 8-1-1. There is a gold lead of about 5K, and currently, right now, this Callista is 3K of it. This Callista is huge. Delta is the main threat inside the C9 Discord composition, and with Ziggy being able to pick up all these assists, he's able to get some gold going into his pocket, and he's going to be a very valuable frontliner at this point. Going to see a little bit of skirmishing coming out. Cat looking to see what else he can do. That is going to be the smoke screen coming out. They are going to see the Ignite playing, and is that going to give him enough time to get his ultimate, so he'll be a-okay. That Slicing Maelstrom is available now. I really like that, actually. Use the stopwatch at that point in time, because of the fact that if he didn't, he realized he could get the Slicing Maelstrom, and if he didn't, he would have died there. So he stopwatches, goes ahead and breaks it, even though he knows that should be just a disengage tool from Cat. Because if Cat doesn't respect that, the ultimate would have been back up by the time he got out of stopwatch, and that would have been another power play from him. Now we're going to see the game kind of shift over. Team Liquid going to look to pick up their first tower at this point. C9 being a little bit slow on the response here. They do have 3 in the bot side though, so they could look for a dive if they want to. Do have to still play it a little bit safe, but there is a 2-level advantage. They're going to look to go ahead and go for it. That's going to be the Featherstorm that's going to be blown. They're going to be able to get a 3-man quickening. That's going to be nice for them, but can they do anything past it? Going to be looking to try and kite this fight back. Downville going to be looking to run away, but he's too close yet again. He's going to have that stun coming out from him. That's going to be the Galio that's going to be running in, and now they're going to be looking to pick up the pieces. Delta has to be careful because there is going to be Cat over here on the side. Shockwave is going to be used on just one. Going to hit a full HP Galio. Kind of a disrespectful ult at that point. That is a cooldown that's going to be used. He does have Luden, so he does have the 20% cooldown at this point in time in the game. If he has Transcendence, he has 30%. Not 100% sure if that's the rune that he ended up choosing, but hey, who knows? It's going to be Mendizzle. He's going to miss the body slam. He's really squishy with the build of choice that he's gone with here. He's going to be able to get the explosive cast going to silent, but he is just a tanky boy. He's got his ultimate onto him. And wait, Cat, you're way too close. You do not want to be in that situation. Going to find himself having to retreat there. This bot lane is very huge. Need to put some respect on it, as Delta has been playing a very clean game, and honestly, I feel like this is becoming less of a solo cast, more of a VOD review. It's probably more of a VOD review at this point, just because the action it's just so spontaneous. You know what I'm saying? But looking at this, seeing how everything actually is playing out, the Alistair roaming in, it feels like Silent isn't, besides his early game, like besides his first 7 minutes, Silent hasn't been like outplaying the enemy. They've been really outplaying themselves. Ragnar hasn't really been able to have an impact. He's starting to look a little bit more comfortable as he's getting items under his belt now. But Downvolt hasn't really been able to have a moment to shine. Look at this. He's going to be caught out yet again. He's finding himself in the wrong place at the wrong time. He is going to almost die. No, the Glacial Prison is going to go a little bit wide. Hentai is going to be looking to dive back. Get the daggers thrown back. That is going to be a TP that will be canceled. Galio looking to go ahead and walk his way back up there. He doesn't have any cooldown reduction right now unless he did go Transcendence in his secondary. He did go Sorcery. A lot of Galios I see right now do go Transcendence just because your build path currently doesn't allow you to have any cooldown super early on into the game, and cooldown's so very vulnerable, valuable. Rod of Ages, and it looks like he is going to go into Hourglass. Curious enough, the Hourglass, I mean, you can, if you perfectly timing, will work fine. Manizzle gonna find himself in a bad spot right now. That is gonna be the explosive cast that's gonna be used as a disengage. Manizzle's just too squishy at this point in time. He did go for a much more squishier route. I probably would have actually liked to have seen him go a tankier route because of the fact they do have Galio. I would have probably actually liked to have seen Cinderhulk inside of this game. Cinderhulk with Aftershock. I know Electrocute's fun. Trust me, I play mid lane Gragas. Electrocute is really fun when you want a hard carry on Gragas. But, I mean, the whole being able to use Aftershock together with this, because you can see right now he hasn't really been able to do anything, so he's not going to be having a carry performance. So he's going to be going into Frozen Fist. When you go Frozen Fist, Gragas turns into a much more peel-oriented champion. So we're going to be looking at his body slams for that reason. Ooh, this could be a very smart thing. They did know that Callista is over on the top side. They do have to respect the fact that Kennen is over here on the side. And Ziggy is here as well. There is the smite advantage is going to be there. That is going to be the heroic entrance. They're going to be able to get 3 off of this. That's going to be a slicing maelstrom. They're going to be looking to tear him apart. But Ragnar is going to be able to pick up the kill. That's going to be a shockwave coming from the side. One eye. Where'd he come from? Where'd he go? He's going to be looking to pick up more as he gets a double kill. Looking to see if he can pick up the triple kill over on the bat side onto this Calio. As Danville's going to lose his life. Silent Blue Death going to be able to pick up the headbutt as he says you can't melt those. As now the dragon belongs to C9 Discord. They just don't spot the TP that's coming out from Cloud9 Discord at that point in time. And that is a huge point. I was saying in the early game that I would have preferred to have seen a defensive or offensive summoner choice. But One Eye is having very effective TPs actually inside of this game. So he's actually utilizing it so well that I can take back my comment from that and say this is good for him because he obviously knows how to play with TP on this Orianna pick. I was still correct on one thing, not a super aggressive laner, but he does have the items like I was talking about earlier, and now you can see he's much more confident in going for these TP plays and hitting these shockwaves from behind. It's so interesting to see an Orianna that's not roaming with his team when he has such a beefy front line and instead is going for these flank plays. He's actually teleporting like he's Kennen. Which is the weirdest thing to actually say about all of this, is just TPing like he's Kennen. A little bit of a Baron bait here. C9 Discord looking to grab somebody off of this. I feel like Team Liquid's calling their bluff right now. I mean, C9 could go for it, honestly. I don't see why they don't, just because if they start actually doing it for real and they force them, like Galio's not there. Like Galio does not have TP and he does not have heroic entrance. What is he going to do? Like what? I kind of wish they would have pulled the trigger there. I think a aggressive Baron call would have been a really good play there. Silent Blue going to find himself in a weird spot. Fate's call going to be used. See, and this is why I said just do the Baron. Look at this. They're pinging for the Baron now. And they could have just did this. They could have done this while they had Fate's Call. Fate's Call is such an important tool for being able to turn around a fight. Now this is much more Team Liquid favor, but they still do not have Shin. Shin's going to be TPing in? Oh, wait. Why are they backing off from this? It's just Shin. It's on Discord. You guys have the advantage at this point. Silent actually going to go in. He's going to be able to get 3. They're going to be able to get a huge team fight off of this. Una's going to be able to pick up a big kill of his own. But there's Shin. Shin's not going to be able to get anything from the heroic entrance. They're going to be able to pick up a kill off of this. But this Callista is just so freaking huge. Not going to be able to get it. Shockwave! Wait! Shockwave! Used as an execution tool on one person looking to let down his frustrations. Kennen's the only one to go down there. But that's A-okay. Kennen's probably the weakest member of the team at this point. And they can just go ahead and start this Baron back up. Now, if Team Liquid want this, they're going to have to go for a cheeky steal, but they really need to respect this. Ragnar getting chunked to half HP with Comet, plus the fact of all the damage this Orion is able to do. Under half HP at this point. They're not even going to look to steal it. I'm actually really surprised that they wouldn't look to. I mean, if you die here, it would be huge. Looks like they're opting to just reset and turtle it out. Very interesting decision. Very interesting. I think it's still not a bad decision when you're in this position that you're at. So gold lead that we're currently looking at is we are looking at a 9K lead that has came out here. Let's look at Callista here. Callista is a total whopping amount of 4K of that lead. So 4K out of 9K, almost half of the lead that C9's been able to get is on one of their champions. While Kennen's actually still just barely over the Akali, which is the very interesting part here, because he has been a part of more fights, getting assist gold and whatnot, and actually been able to catch more of these minion waves and whatnot. Isn't ahead by as much as you may think. Oriana's ahead by a decent chunk as well. Honestly, at this point in time, Team Liquid really need to go for picks. And they need to really set up Akali to be able to grab this Kalista. The only problem is there's just too many tools to stop that from happening. And the fact that it is Blade of the Ruined King, Hurricane, and Guardian Angel complete on Kalista, it's going to be just about impossible to kill Kalista unless the Kalista ends. Resetting it up now. Basically, with Baron buffs up, you kind of really have to give up the outers. That's going to be a Glacial Prison that's going to land on the Rakan. He's actually bursted down 100 to 0. Shockwave is going to come through, but it's not going to be able to hit anybody. Akali's going to be going in deep as Manizzle looking to try and do something. Cat has a bunch of spears lodged in him. He is going to go down here as he's going to be taken out. Shutdown goal coming over Manizzle, seeing what he can do, but he's also going to fall victim. Ragnar next target up to bat as now we are seeing Galio trying to see what he can do. He's going to be able to pop that GA that's going to be coming out, and he's going to be able to get a taunt. That's the Winds of War that's going to be able to take out Kalista. That is a huge shutdown, and that is exactly what they need to do at this point. They still are going to lose this tower here, and they're going to lose mid inhibitor. But you did shut down the Kalista at this point. You kept the gold lead at about the same. Did lose a lot, but hey, when you lose Baron, you have to lose some objectives that are on the map. Can't really be too terribly upset with that. So Team Liquid able to get some fight off of C9 really playing that poorly. They went just a little bit too ham instead of backing off and reining it on in. Then again, C9 Discord just so far ahead at this point. They're really able to do this without being punished. If this was like an even game and they had done that, that would have been really bad for them, because of course then that means that Kalista wouldn't be so far ahead. I really like this, actually. Them putting Silent onto Alistar. He played completely fine, and honestly, Silent just let the opposing team make the mistakes for him, I feel like. Like, I'm not downing Silent by any means here. But in all reality, he legit just, after being able to get was a smart play to capitalize on. Oh, Manizzle, he's in a bad spot. They're going to have to, he's using the blast gun. Yeah, that's your best bet right there, buddy. This dragon now belongs to them. This is a mountain drake. Only a couple more turrets that's going to be here. But hey, that will help you take care of more turrets. And if they get a chance at a second Baron, hey, they will melt it just that much quicker, which is already insane. Because you got Smite, you got the Kalista spears that are going to be lodged into him with the Rend, and then you got 2 Mountain Drakes. So it's going to be another turret on the side lane. Just Cloud9 Discord not really able to manage that bot wave. You can see they've been playing a lot more towards this mid-centric area. C9 really, that is one thing I will say, is they haven't really had a major side wave control. If we're looking for something to nitpick on, the side wave control hasn't been that great. I mean, they're snowballing at this point in time. They could definitely do it much more efficient. Honestly, I think this game should have been over a couple minutes ago. Yeah, you put it at 32 minutes and Team Liquid is holding on. I feel like the shockwaves haven't been necessarily on point unless they've been like from the fog of war. Manizzle getting himself caught out yet again. Has to watch out. They really can't defend inside the jungle. They can't secure vision because every time they try to, C9 is death brushing. I think that's kind of a waste of time. You could just siege. Is there really any way that Team Liquid can stop Cloud9 Discord from sieging? I really don't think so. Like, I mean, you put somebody in a side wave, that's sweet. I mean, One Eye can do it because he does have TP. And he would take, I think, 2 people to be able to deal with him. He has Ludens, Leandres, and Voidstaff. They could just push for top lane for free, but instead they're farming the jungle. Like I said, I don't agree with this. Like I said, if we're looking for something to nitpick on C9 Discord, their macro isn't... They're really not doing much on the map with the lead that they have. They're looking for kills instead of looking to actively punish. But there you go. Akali gets a little bit too hypey. Going to go in. That's an heroic entrance. This could be the fight that they're looking to get because Kalista is not here. You're going to see Galio going to be able to pick up a kill of his own. That's going to be the damage being put out. They're going to be able to get Orianna. That is the fight Team Liquid wanted. That is good for them. They're able to defend that. And like I said, this is off of C9 really playing cocky. They are death brushing when they don't have to. Death brushing is like, oh, I can expand my lead by catching them on the way to this neutral objective or trying to defend this turret. It's cool. If it works, great. Phenomenal play. It hasn't worked. They haven't really been able to have one of these death brush strats work yet. At least not to my memory. Every time I've seen them sit in the brush, it seems like they haven't been able to pull the trigger on anything or haven't been able to catch anybody with it. There is still a turret that went down in the bot side, so gold still goes over to the side of C9 Discord, but Kalista shouldn't be there. That's the thing that weirds me out. Put Kalista, put everybody except for either the Kennen or the Ori. At this point, Kennen has TP. Put Kennen in a side lane and just let him sit in the side lane. What ends up happening is they have to send Galio because he's the person that has TP. Akali kind of has to stay close by to whichever on whatever side the neutral objective is. So the issue when you play Ignite in the top lane is if there's a neutral objective, you kind of want to be there to participate for it. If Baron is up or you're looking to make a play around Baron area, top side, your top laner really needs to be in that general area just to apply pressure there and be able to assert dominance in that. Because you're wanting to control the territory so you can secure vision. And also, if your top laner is fed, like this Akali did end up getting to be pretty strong, did have a decent lead up above the Kennen. Look at this thing. This thing just melts at this point. They have to contest this almost immediately. Can they actually get it? This is do or die. No, they don't get the steal. That is going to be the glacial person that's going to be coming out. Going to be hitting the Galio. No, nothing else to come from it. I'm a little surprised. But it's okay. It's Cloud9 Discord playing a little bit more slow and steady after that. Team Liquid really needed to get that steal at that point, so it's a little bit heartbreaking for them. Kind of curious on what comms are like for them. Because this is one of those times, it's 36 minutes in the game. You have to have a very strong mental to not be in a negative space of mind during this game, because you know there's a huge gold lead that's favoring Cloud9 Discord, and your comp really isn't a team fight comp, while their comp is. And it's at this point in time when they're this far ahead with Kalista, when Kalista's grouped with them, they are a wrecking ball, and they really do have to respect that, because they don't really have anybody who can just shred Sejuani, while the Kalista just shreds all of them. And the Orianna shockwaves do so much damage because he went Ludens into double pen with Source Boots. Like, one eye actually does so much damage. It's actually just crazy. It's nutty. And it works really well when you have these people like Galio and whatnot that are going to be looking to get in there. And this is kind of what I was talking about, where I was just like, I kind of wish Gragas went for the just tank build right off the get-go. Because he went the Runic Echoes, he does miss out on some tankiness. He has Stone Plate and he has Frozen Fist, but don't get me wrong, I do think Runic Echoes is good. But okay, I got a message from Discord. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know if you guys can. I don't think you guys can. Alright, I just alt-tabbed out to see if you guys could see that. Because that was a little weird for me to be able to see. I didn't know. Is that a new update? What the hell? I don't want that. I don't want text messages from Discord popping up. Look at it. Manizzle sent me a message saying sleepy. What the? Come on, dude. Oh, man. He's already leaking into. He's in my comm somehow. Ziggy going for a flash forward. Looking to get the glacial person. They are going to be able to get this on the Galio. They're going to get a one-man shockwave. Looking to see what they can do. That's going to be a huge Galio ultimate, but it's a little bit too little too late. That's a triple kill. That's going to be there. The Lawnmower Blades being able to come to fruition. That's going to be Cloud9 Discord being able to pick up this game. Honestly, This game was a lot slower than it needed to be. I think Cloud9 Discord do have some issues with that. So let's look at things to nitpick here before we give praises. Cloud9 Discord definitely didn't play their advantages, I feel like. They could have ended this game 18 minutes ago, honestly. Well, at the 25-minute mark, I feel like this was a game that was completely in control by Cloud9. Like, they had such a huge lead. I mean, as the game goes farther, it just favors them more and more because they're just picking up fight after fight. But I think Cloud9 Discord really was lost when they moved around the map together, because they tried to do these death brushes and stuff like that. The shot caller, whoever was calling for that wasn't the right call to make. They could have just gone to neutral objectives. You have Callista, you have a Sejuani that's 2 levels up the Gragas for a good portion of the game. I mean, you could have actually just forced down objectives, and if they went to fight you, Fate's Call, throw the Alistar in, they get knocked up. They have to group up for these kind of things, and you guys get a free shockwave and you murder them all. Like, you guys have this huge AoE comp. This game should have been over at probably 25-27 minute mark. That's probably my biggest complaint about this. And in Team Liquid, I would say biggest complaint was just their individual lanes lost too hard. I think Donville mispositioned too hard, and I feel like the bot lane just didn't synergize very well together. Galio had some ults, but wasn't really able to do much. It wasn't a very impactful pick, I feel like. It would have been cool to see that ult that happened at the end when the game was much more even. Kind of showed the dis-synergize between Gragas and Galio at that point, just because Explosive Cast kind of pushes everybody out of the Galio, and everybody's like, oh, okay, thanks. See you next time. And then Akali just didn't get to do anything. It looked good at first, but they never played around Akali, and playing Akali like this, they really needed Ragnar to be in a position where he was a huge threat. And he really wasn't able to be. Real quick before we end this off, I do want to go ahead look at this damage charts. Look at that. The Xayah still did so much damage. Like, Ragnar still put out impressive damage. Imagine if he actually got ahead. Like, he did so much damage, but if he actually got ahead, this could have been a very different game, because then he could have done the damage. They would have had to retreat off, and then Akali could have been able to get picks off on the side, kill them in the Fog of War, because the vision control was favoring Team Liquid. But props to C9 Discord. Silent Blue played a good laning, noticing when he needed to grab certain members when they were out of position. I thought that was really well played on his part. The Callista was able to do just fine. The Callista had a great game played there. And yeah, I do think I was right about the One Eye. He wasn't very aggressive early, but guess what? He did what he needed to do. I mean, he ended the game 6-2-15, had great TP flanks, even though I was questioning the TP myself, looking at defensive being much more valuable. I still hold that opinion in most cases and scenarios, but hey, he used the TP greatly. Honestly, he had better TPs than the Kennen did. His TPs were the kind of TPs I would have loved to have seen from Kennen at that point, but it feels like a lot of his TPs were wasted or weren't very important because his team was so far ahead. Top lane definitely a focus that Cloud9 Discord is going to have to look at fine-tuning that a little bit, because definitely didn't recognize the power that Akali would have with Ignite. Didn't respect it. Anyways, that's been the VOD review /cast thing. Yeah, thanks guys for watching, and peace.